Well, the World Health Organization is reviewing their guidelines on wearing masks in public after new evidence has indicated it may have helped curb the spread in countries like Hong Kong. Now, until now, the World Health Organization has discouraged mask use, but with so much from the WHO, it's hard to know if they can even be trusted anymore.
This is exactly what's happened with things like the World Health Organization. I mean, it is a joke. We should have nothing to do with it. For the last decade or so, they have been endlessly warning us about climate change, and they have deliberately ignored many experts who were pointing out, even almost to the wet market in Wuhan itself, saying one of the big global threats coming down the pipeline would be a global virus coming out of China due to the contamination in the wet markets of live animals. So the warning was there. They were all pandering to climate change and running around with Greta Thunberg and Sir David Attenborough and Prince Charles and the rest of them, ignoring a serious major risk. They've been discredited. The UN are discredited. We have to get back in charge, as you say, Peter, our own sovereignty, looking after ourselves and not relying on these basically corrupted organisations to do it for us.
Donald Trump got this right yesterday when he called WHO China-centric and threatened to pull US funding.
We're going to put a hold on money spent to the WHO. We're going to put a very powerful hold on it, and we're going to see. It's a great thing if it works, but when they call every shot wrong, that's no good.
He rightly pointed to his widespread travel bans. Remember, he went pretty early, which bizarrely was a measure criticised by WHO at the time. In fact, WHO has constantly disapproved of international travel restrictions. They see them as ineffectual. Now, that in itself illustrates how out of step this mob is, out of step with first world medical experts. The biggest trouble we've had here with infection is with overseas travellers returning home. So their advice has proven totally contrary to what has actually worked. Now, let's not forget it wasn't until early February, 5 weeks after they were informed about coronavirus clusters in Wuhan, that WHO called for United Nations assistance and their crisis management team was activated. A bit slow? I think it looks that way. The WHO Director General has been blindly relying on official Chinese government figures as well, over and over again, which Chinese media has even been questioning. Now, this prominent Chinese billionaire has been attacking the regime on YouTube for misleading the world, claiming China has sent enough incinerators to Wuhan to cremate 3 million dead bodies. And look, the latest rumour has it that tech giants operating in China have noticed 21 million less mobile phone use. It may be rubbish, probably is, but who buys a death toll in China of 3,335? Give me a break. Now, the organisation even tweeted that preliminary investigations by Chinese authorities had found no clear evidence of human-to-human transmission of the virus. Talk about being sucked in, or even worse, supporting lies. And then they used the word impressive to describe China's role. That was also the day WHO declared COVID-19 a pandemic, which was weeks after several nations, including ours, Australia, had already made that declaration. This mob is an utter joke, and they've sucked up to China on several occasions. It's not fooling anyone. It's about retaining Chinese financial support, which, as we discovered last month, totals close to 35 million Australian dollars per year. By the way, we give them 8.4 million a year, about 8.3 too much. And given how cruel and secretive communist officials were when informed of the virus, fancy congratulating China for the way they handled this crisis. They allowed 5 million people from that province to travel throughout China and the world before making it public. What should happen? They should be repaying us. They should be paying reparations to every affected nation and to the families who've lost loved ones.